First of all, a big, warm, hearty congratulations to all Martians globally. We have come a long way. It's been 25 years, it's our 25th anniversary. And we are here because of our employees, our customers, and our partners. We're all in this together. So thanks for all of you being here with us, and best wishes for the next 25, the next 50, the next 100 years to come. Thank you so much.
Because you wear multiple hats at Marlabs, one of it being Chief Commercial Officer, wherein you interact with a lot of clients across multiple industries and a lot of our partners. What are some of the mega trends that you are seeing that our customers require for digital transformation?
Thanks. That's a great question, and it's very close to my heart. See, if I look at the overall industry landscape today, the key mega trend is digital transformation. Technology is changing very rapidly today. It's touching every walk of life. Whether you're a student, whether you're an employee, whether you're a technology company, whether you're a pharmacy, whether you're a retailer, any place, right? Technology will touch you. And people who embrace technology, people who embrace the digital transformation journey will be the ones who thrive and move ahead. Technologies and companies who don't embrace the digital transformation will be left behind. We've seen multiple cases where companies have been Uberized or Blockbusterized, right? But if the right timing is there, the right know-how is there, and you know what are the changes in the market, which is the next S-curve, if you're riding that wave on digital transformation, that's what will take you places. And we at Marlabs today ensure that we are at cutting edge of digital transformation.
Vikas, in your experience and from a customer context perspective, what are the biggest business outcomes that you are seeing where customers are realizing the value from digital transformation?
See, people do embark on the digital transformation journey without even sometimes knowing what are they trying to measure out. So business outcomes, some of them are measurable, some of them are not. It depends on how you want to put KPIs and KRAs around digital transformation. But in my opinion, that's complicating things. The biggest way to measure your business outcome of a digital transformation journey is your customer experience and your customer loyalty. If your customer experience has improved, if the millennials or the teenagers are now interested in your technology, if you're using your apps, if they're communicating with you, if they're sharing their ideas with you, that in itself is a big outcome which is measurable. Also, apart from the customer experience and say for example the NPS scores and others, there'll be other places where there is social impact of the way in which the young generation interacts with us today, whichever industry you are in. If you pay real attention and focus to the social interactions and you find something has gone wrong, you take that negative sentiment, analyze it, and try to solve it. That's where your business outcomes start becoming stellar. Say, for example, something went wrong. We are all humans, we all commit mistakes. But if something has gone wrong and you came to know about it, as a leader of a company, as a CIO, as a CTO, as a CXO of the company, what have you done about it? And how soon have you taken a step to remediate the problem or the error that has happened, right? That's what sets you apart. So if your digital transformation journey has been implemented, and if your digital transformation steps are in line with the industry best practices, the moment you come to know about a problem, you will have an immediate accept and you will be able to solve it. If you are able to do that, your business outcomes become more and more measurable and you start seeing more and more success with all the industries and all the customers that you have. So that would be my message on the outcomes and how to measure them using business transformation and digital transformation.
Because that was pretty insightful. What are your thoughts on digital literacy?
Well, digital literacy, that's a very interesting question. You see, digital literacy today is in the DNA of every Martian. When we talk about CDO consults, Chief Data Advisory Consults, or Chief Digital Advisory Consults, or we talk about CXO roundtables, many of our customers, the CIOs, the CXOs, always look at us as advisors. We sit with them, we make sure that our Martians are digitally literate, and so are our customers, because we are in this together. Digital literacy is the core with which we do innovation. Anything that we do from, say, for example, Divergence Lab setups, the way we innovate on multiple IoT, AI, machine learning areas, customer experience, cybersecurity, it's all because everyone at Marlabs is digitally literate. We pride ourselves in having more than 300 to 400 employees getting trained almost every quarter on the latest and greatest industry. So digital literacy is the foundation of Mar Labs, it's the foundation of our innovation, it's the foundation of how we lead the industry and solve customer problems. Digital literacy is very good. That's a great question. Thank you.
So Vikas, I actually have a question. You've been in the industry for several decades. You've seen so many technological changes happening around in the market. Based on your understanding and the landscape we have, what are the technologies that would shape the future?
Technology is ever changing. If you look at how technology has shaped us in the past and you take lessons from there and how it will shape us in the future, I think the main hottest technology trends today, or I would say the growth curve that we are riding today, is of artificial intelligence and machine learning. Combined with a little bit of IoT, blockchain, cognitive, quantum computing, these are the ones which will be the trendsetter for the industry in the coming future. Some of them are a little bit of hype. Say, for example, if you look at quantum computing, there is still some time before we start making money on quantum computing. But if we don't invest today, we will never make that money. We will never make that leap. So it's very important that we keep investing on areas of growth which don't give us the right revenue or the right commercial model today, but enable us in the future to ride that big wave. AI/ML 3 years back, 4 years back was hype, or it was like a growth curve. But today, AI and machine learning is the growth curve and everyone is riding it. It has been there for the last 5 to 6 years. It's no longer niche. It's becoming commodity. Similarly, quantum computing, cognitive, will become, maybe in the next, I would say, a decade, main stage and center. So people who invest, we at Mar Labs, we are really investing hard on quantum computing, cognitive, IoT, AI, and machine learning. That's the future for us. And most of our solutions, technologies like mAdvisor, Rapid 360, Intelligence Text Extractor, and a couple of other platforms and Divergent Labs that we have, are all based around these cutting-edge technologies for the future. So I would say these technologies, if we really ride and monetize them, that will take us places. It will take our customers places. It will give them the edge over their competitors. And that's why we believe that's the future.
Thanks for sharing the wealth of information today to all the Martians and also to the customers.
My pleasure.
Very insightful. Just to conclude our discussion, what is the message that you want to leave both our Martians and the customers with to take away from here?
Well, to sum up, I'll leave our audience, both our customers as well as all the Martians, with 3 messages. The first message would be all about hyper-personalization. Nobody likes it better than being asked individually. If you bring that individuality into any equation, that takes the game to the next level. So you need to bring in hyper-personalization. We talk about a lot about hyper-personalization in ways what software can do. But it's not only about software. Whenever you deal with a customer, or when you deal with a fellow Martian, bring in that personal touch. That will make you feel welcome. That will make you feel a part of the family. And if you treat your customers like your family, they will treat you with respect and as a family back. That will take you places. So first thing is hyper-personalization, not only from the context of retail or business, but also in human touch. So that would be the first message. I would say the second message would be around omnipresence. People talk about omni-channel, but I would say take it to the next level again. Bring omnipresence. And I'll define omnipresence for you. Omnipresence is when you see a brand and you see it as your brand. Anything that someone has done, you always feel there is your touch into it. Your loyalty speaks for itself. You don't want to see another brand. And there was a funny incident some time back when one of the big football players saw a soda bottle and moved it out of the frame, right? That has to go something with brand loyalty. And we have multiple film stars, commercial leaders who do brand loyalty, right? But that's your omnipresence. Omni-channel is good, but take it to the next level where you're omnipresent. The customer thinks about you, worships you, is loyal to you. If you can get that touch, your business will thrive. And you will thrive as well with business. So that would be my second message. And the third message would be, well, people talk about customer experience and customer loyalty, but I would say customer obsession. And one very large company uses this word as well. But customer obsession is what sets you apart. you can always look at anything and everything to start with the customer. Product is always important. At the end of the day, whichever industry you go to, whether it's retail, pharma, manufacturing, life sciences, banking, financial services, we are all selling. At the end of the day, a sale has to be made. But if your customer obsession is the key factor driving you, and if the customer experience is the outcome that you're trying to measure, you will set yourself apart. Because in such a journey, customer first, then the product. And if your product is good, the customer will buy it. If your product is not good, anyway, do not sell. But if your customer is happy, you're obsessed about your customer, and your customer is first and center of everything that you do, you will really thrive. So just to summarize again, I would say hyper-personalization, brand loyalty or omnipresence, and the third would be customer obsession. So those would be my 3 messages to all Martians and all our customers. Thank you.